So what to me this is drama on a small scale. You know, it has a personality, that's what it is. Look for things with personality. So my whole life has become about not losing these. So
But I actually just stole these.
today is just a complete horror. I don't even know why I'm filming. Hello. Welcome to another vlog. My name is Angie and this is Rare Birds. And I've been thinking about what a rare bird is again, because it's a process of refinement, defining it. And to me, a rare bird certainly is a person who, as they go through their life, they choose to grow rather than shrink. And I think that they do that by maintaining a natural curiosity. So the kind of curiosity that you have as a child and as a young person, you maintain in later years. And I think that that's really important, to just be interested in things. And that's it really. That's all I wanted to say on that matter. So I've been looking at the Bible of British Taste book, and I will definitely show you that. But can I just very trivial. This is so trivial. Look, what's different about this? Can you see? That's all that's left. Do you remember I had that lovely ring? Sorry, that's a very self-indulgent thing to say, but look, do you remember it had like a big disc of what looked like, you know, the inside of a shell, that mother of pearl. And then the other day I just looked down and that was all that was left. I hate that. Okay, so that's one peeve out of the way. The other peeve, it's kind of a happy, sad story. So when the cameraman, he was in the States for a week recently, and when he came back, he got me some things in duty free, which is just so lovely, so generous. And one of the things he said, you know, would you like some Airpods? Because I just think it will really make your life so much easier, and da-da-da. And I said, no, for God's sake, don't give me Airpods. Because my one experience of having little, you know, when I'm guessing you know what I mean by that, you know, the little tiny cordless ear things that you literally put in my ear. So about 1.5 years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I don't know, it doesn't matter how long ago it was, I got some, not Airpods, they were like 60 quid or something like that, just, you know, quite good, and they married up with my phone, and I was just so happy to have them because I have Audible on my phone and obviously podcasts and everything like that, and it was cold, and it was when I was trying to do lots of walking, you know, trying to do like the 10,000 steps a day, and you can't just walk for 10, you know, you've got to like have something. Well, particularly, it was a rainy night, it was just miserable, dark, and so I went out for a walk, you know, a good bracing walk, and I was really enjoying my podcast. I was listening to an audiobook or whatever, but when I got home, I only had one in my ear. The other one had just gone. So I retraced my steps everywhere I had walked, and they were white, so I thought, you know, I'm in with a shot here. I was so annoyed because it was the first time I'd worn them, and like 70 quid, it was a lot of money, and I just thought, this is going to change my life. Anyway, I retraced my steps literally everywhere I had been, you know, eyes down, just scanning, looking for this, you know, little white thing. Didn't find it, and I was so enraged when I got home and frustrated with myself that the one that I had left, you know, I just thought, well, what use are you? I'm not going to be the sort of person that just like holds on to one thing. You know, what use is one? No use. It's just frustrating and awful. So I threw it away. Anyway, so the next time that I went out for a walk, I put my scarf on, and it was like the other one, the original one that I thought I'd lost, was sort of caught up in my scarf. But then, of course, I'd thrown the other one away. So I was just so disgusted then. I threw that one away, and it was just, you know, it was just really frustrating. So anyway, so that's why I didn't want the really expensive ones. Now, these ones, I think they're Beats. They're not cheap. Cute, right? Also lovely sound. You know, lovely sound. So my whole life has become about not losing these. So, you know, they're bright red. When you buy them, it says, oh, hey, choose the right size thing. So I just think there's something wrong with my ears because, you know, I haven't lost them. But what happened was I was literally doing the washing up, literally just doing the washing up while, you know, listening to something. And it just fell out into the washing up water right at a time when you know, when you get to the end of the washing up and it's really, the water is really quite grisly. So I immediately took it out and held it upside down. And then I got a pair of scissors like that, because finding a way to hold that upside down so that all the water runs out of it, it's not easy, let me tell you, but it's very ingenious, very quick, you know, it's super quick. I got a pair of scissors, held them open, and then I just put it like that, and I suspended it so the water could just drip out. Anyway, thrilling story. I haven't had the courage yet to see if they work. So I just have to hope that they do. And then the other thing, do you want to see my haul? My duty-free haul? So it's going to make me look like a really greedy beast. But then I also got this diptyque thing. Isn't that packaging just sensational? And in it, what's really lovely is that you get 3 really quite good fragrances. Isn't that nice? So this one is Orpheus. It's just a nice way to, well, not that I bought it. Yeah, Orphean. And then I have Fleur de Peau, which is really beautiful. And then I gave one to Pops, because Pops was here the other night. And in fact, I did a little video of her as she was leaving the following morning. Yeah, in fact, I'll just show you that right here. Don't go, Pops.
No.
Don't leave me.
Mol's given me a nice big bag of goodies to go home with.
Remnants. So, what have we got in here? So we have half a bottle of wine.
Some sewing bits.
And
socks.
Yeah.
Such a freak.
And some, yeah, and cooked meal at the bottom.
Yeah.
Carrots. Yeah.
Does everyone like my socks?
I think everyone's going to really make a big fuss of those socks.
That's so cool.
They are. I like stars though.
Yeah.
And that's a very nice colour. That sort of berry red.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we think about the trainers? Not so much, maybe.
Yeah,
are they good trainers?
These are the
oh yes,
trainers
tell the quick story of the trainers.
So Mole very kindly gave me. What even are they called? They're just like nice Wellington.
They're like Dubarry
yeah.
leather wellies, which I found in a charity shop.
Yeah. And I thought they were like so precious, and you know I couldn't wear them for like 5 years, and then I wanted to take them to Amsterdam with me, so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna wear them on a night out and see what happens.
And so describe your outfit, because it was very cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
So I had the boots that like went up to here, and I had some cream socks over the knee.
Okay.
And then baggy shorts on.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Denim shorts. Yeah.
Top, but that's irrelevant.
But it was a cool look.
Yeah. And then so it was fine, you know, leaving my house on the train, on the tube. And then I got to Angel, and suddenly both the soles just came off when I was on the escalator as well. So then they were just flapping at the heel, like they were connected, but just at the back. So I had to walk flapping about. And it was like 6:30 or something.
Yeah, just a nightmare.
And I was thinking, God, there's literally like nothing I can do now. But then luckily there was a JD Sports Open for literally 20 minutes. So I was on.
And that's where you went.
Piggybacked. And we ran in.
Was this George carrying you?
Yeah, George was carrying me. And we also had a straggler friend who just had to come along for the journey.
Nice.
Yeah.
So these were the saviour trainers.
They were, and they were only 50 quid as well. Reduced.
They're nice. Yeah, they're nice.
And now I wear them every day.
You have little feet. They're kind of like trotters, your little feet, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's okay.
Trotters.
Anyway.
Like the man from Wizard of Oz. You know, the deer man or whatever, the goat boy.
Is that the Wizard of Oz?
No, it's not the Wizard of Oz. Narnia.
Narnia.
Yeah.
The sun's coming in and you look like a sort of an angel. And we should actually say that when you said, when I got to angel, my feet exploded or whatever, angel is a part of London, not a religious experience. So just want to make that.
Yeah, it wasn't in my mind.
Exactly.
But I actually just stole these from a shop.
Yes, yeah. Anyway, I love pops.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to show your little cow face? No.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Okay, another
I
time.
don't know where it's gone.
And when I say cow face, I don't mean her being mean. I don't mean that. I mean it's a work of art. Anyway, love pops. Wave bye to everyone. Bye. Anyway, so that was so nice. Yes, so Jordan's coming back tomorrow. So he was here, I think, yesterday, which is why I couldn't vlog. It was just, it wasn't straightforward. But so the kitchen unit is still in the studio room, and he's been making some adjustments to that. And he also, oh God, I'm so happy. You know how I was saying before that I had to get that window painted, and he did that for me, so I love that. So it just makes life so much easier for me. I don't know, there's something about it, isn't there? I just don't want to be up ladders and painting windows. I just don't want to do it. I think I've just done it for so long. I just don't want to do it anymore. I mean, I will if I have to, but he was literally here, doing the kitchen, and I said, look, if you have any time, and I said, obviously, I'll pay you over and above the kitchen, because the kitchen is a fixed price, so I'm not then going to start asking him to paint windows in his time, but I said, whatever time it takes, just let me know, and I'll pay you separately for that. And he did, and I saw him, and he had things like, sealant and caulk, and it was great. There's just the joy of having stuff done. It's massive. It is massive. Anyway, this light is just fading so much today. I had something I had to do this morning, so I haven't even been able to start filming. I mean, fair enough, it is 4:00, but you would think it was so much later than that, but it's really not. Good morning. This is Rare Birds transmitting from the dump, basically. So that's very glamorous, isn't it? Today is just a complete horror. I don't even know why I'm filming. So I'm at the dump now, and then when I go home, I go to the dentist and basically get tortured. So do you remember I was saying ages ago about those 2 failed root canals? Well, just the whole thing has got to come out, and that's happening today. So that's really nice. I think it's kind of almost like surgery, so it makes it even more exciting. I'm very upbeat about it, as you can tell. Not at all self-pitying or resentful or anything like that. Just locked into my own misery. Anyway, so my car is full of garbage. So that's good anyway. At least, do something positive before the horror commences. But in other nicer news, so Jordan is coming over today. So the units for the kitchen have been built, and they are currently in the studio room. Quite unfortunate that this is happening today when I'm harrowing my teeth out, but everybody's got their schedules, and we just got to make the best of things, really. At least it won't be kitchen chaos anyway. It's not like stuff is, I've got to empty out the kitchen or anything like that. I don't. But Quincy will be barking a lot, and that's going to really shred my nerves. Anyway, enough with that. Got my baseball cap. Not mine, actually. I just found it in my house. I think it must be Charlie's or something. It's an Adidas one. It's black. It's very Charlie. Anyway, it's mine now, so that's that. Funny enough, he's just messaged me to ask if he left his grey Crombie coat here, and he probably did, so I will send that as well to him today. And it's just fun all the way. I was looking at that Bible of British Taste book last night. In fact, I looked through the whole thing really slowly, page by page. And it's lovely. It's just a lovely book. So, but we're gonna talk some more interiors, and I need to film. I actually need to film another Christmas video. I need to edit a Christmas video. I need to film this vlog, and anyway, there's quite a lot to do. So always comes back to the teeth. Really excited about that. Having that done, feeling good afterwards. Oh, also the massive amounts of money. Fantastic. Win for something that I don't even want. I won't know what. There's no aesthetic, uptick. Nothing. Literally nothing. Oh, I'm so fed up. Mainly older people, but lots of young people too. But has been, maybe up until quite recently, that, as you get older, you diminish in some way. And it just couldn't be further from the truth, really, could it? Because we have so much, over the years, you accumulate so much knowledge and wisdom, because we've made a lot of mistakes. And that's how you learn as well, isn't it? And anyway, and just to celebrate life and to celebrate actually getting a bit older, because what's the alternative? Not good. Anyway, I am going off to Castle Carey, which is a town near where I live. I'm meeting a friend for coffee. I'm going to take my little canine companion with me, and I'm going to go into that antique shop again. Do you remember, those of you who have watched from the beginning in one of the very early vlogs, I went to this antique shop and I was looking at this particular, it's a tapestry really, in a really beautiful old frame, and it's a bird, like a rare bird. And I just said on it, on the video, I just said, oh my God, if I could buy that, I would buy that in a heartbeat. And then one of you did, and they sent it to me in the shop, and it was just like, it still makes me emotional, just not because of the acquiring of something. It was just like the most really touching surprise, and it was just when I was just starting as well. So I just want to say thank you again to that person, because it was a very lovely thing. And thank you to any and all of you who, like, there's a card up there, a little card up there with a croissant on it that one of you sent to me as well. And, I just never think that if you send something and I don't say anything, it's because I don't appreciate it. Also, can I just say, now I feel like I'm saying this is all sort of subliminal. I'm saying, oh, send me stuff. And I'm not at all. I just, wanted to thank you, really. Which actually is an unfortunate segue into what I want, because what time is it? Yeah, I've got a little while. I wanted to show you something lovely. So this is something that has been gifted, but it's been gifted by a brand. But it's a new brand, and it's female founded, and it's this young woman called Bianca, and she has set up this lifestyle company where she sort of sources beautiful things, mainly tableware, to be honest, because she loves to entertain. And I was just very charmed by it. And she just wrote me a lovely email and said, can I give you some things? And so we sort of chose some things together. And I wanted, because it's, as I say, it's tableware, and I wanted to show you the things actually being used. Because I think that's always the nicest way, and it's real as well, because the things Bianca and I, we kind of chose them together, things that we thought were very rare birds. But I wanted to do them for my book group, but my book group, the date keeps getting changed. It's going to be like May by the time we actually get together. Not that it's anyone's fault, but you know what it's like. In fact, they're actually waiting for me to come back to them. But I want to show you just one thing, because it kind of ties in with this Bible of British taste, which is ironic because it's not a British. The thing I'm going to show you is not, I think it came from maybe Italy, because she has different collections. So they're called things like Provence, or so that she's sort of grouped things together that sort of lay happily with one another, which I think again is just a lovely thing. And she does everything from kind of candles to linen, napkins, tablecloths, ceramics. But what I will show you is a vase, and it does tie in with the British taste thing, the Bible of British Taste, which is the book. And I'm not going to start going on about this book in a huge way, but I'm going to keep referring back to it, because I do want to do the breaking down of British taste thing little by little as well. But so this book is just, it's written by a woman called Ruth, I guess you pronounce that, Gilding. And in it, she sort of outlines her concept of what the kind of the cornerstones of British taste is in terms of their historical influences. So she cites William Morris, she cites obviously Bloomsbury, Charleston, and then she cites the New Georgians and the origins of plain English. And plain English is just like this unbelievably beautiful sort of joinery brand. They make kitchens and just stunning things. I wanted to show you a picture. Yeah, so this is like a typical kind of plain English. They're very, very pared down, very Spartan, which is ironic in a book that's sort of classically more cluttered. But these are all the cornerstones of it. Anyway, one of the things about British taste, one of the key links almost between everything, is in your room. Have something, like if you're starting from nothing, and obviously not many of you will be because we're generally older, but even if you are, if you're starting from nothing, I would say start off with a good base colour on your walls, because colour always immediately brings character. If you're going for white walls or very pale walls, you're going to have to work much harder to get that warmth, enveloping kind of womb-like feel that you often have with a layered English or British style. So, but obviously it's personal choice. So, for example, in this room, I have Sulking Room Pink, it is a pink, but it's also really neutral in many ways. So you could kind of put any colour you wanted with this, so I have orange with it. But yeah, so once you've got your base layer, look for something that's a bit different. So like in my kitchen, and I will talk about my kitchen in great detail later on, the wall and everything like that. But that wall, that was a choice for me. I could have, because that wall revealed itself when I took the, am I going on a lot? Anyway, that wall revealed itself when I took the paper off, and it was just under there. And basically I did some bits and bobs to it just to get it a bit more the way that I wanted, i.e. kind of sanding back certain colours that I wasn't so keen on, so that other colours within it would shine. So I could have had a completely plain thing there. I could have thought, oh no, that's not right, I'm going to paint over that because I'm not sure about the vibe of that. I could have, and where I have just the bare plaster, which I have sealed, I could have thought, oh no, I have to put tiles up, because that's what, you don't have to do anything. So in this room here right now, there are many things that are just bits, not quite right. One of the things, or not quite right in terms of not what you might expect. So one of the things is bringing outdoor things in. So like the horse's head. I'll show you the horse's head in a minute. I know just in case you're watching this for the first time. So on my coffee table right here, which is a really big coffee table, I have this, I think it's iron, it's really heavy, horse's head that's kind of all rusty. It's massive, it's like this big. But on a smaller scale, you see, you can have, this is something that Bianca sent me. Quincy, no, sorry, I had to stop. Quincy was barking. Yes, so and I will put the link to Bianca's company in, because she has given us a rare bird discount, which is lovely. But so this, you might think, oh, that's really like quite a small thing, and it is a small thing, but it's an interesting thing. You see, it's an interesting thing, and you can have lots of different styles together, and so you might think, oh, that they don't really work together, but actually if you bring lots of different elements together, they will. So what I liked about this, and I actively chose this, I went on the website and I thought it'd be really nice to have a vase, is that it's just an interesting shape. And I also like how rustic it is. And I like to have rustic things alongside delicate things. It's like creating a tension. Almost like with music, where you could have this incredibly delicate melody that then leads into some kind of drama. So what, to me, this is drama on a small scale. And then I would go one step further with something like this. And I think, what can I put in there? I'd like to put in something quite, again, something quite rustic. To sit amongst the pretty things, or to lean into the kind of, the horse's head and create just this sort of slightly more arresting visual thing. So I'm going to get something from the garden, which I think will be really beautiful in here. What time is it? Yeah, I have time. And then I'm going to come back. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I just really like it. Hang on, let me see what it says on the bottom here. Yeah. Okay, so this has got a stamp on the bottom, and it is, it's Portuguese terracotta since 1900. Okay, so this has been made, by a very, very established company, and I think it shows. I just think it's lovely. It's also kind of something that Habitat would have had, when Habitat was really, really strong, or the Conran shop, or it's kind of very Terence Conran. Do you know what I mean? Terracotta, earthy. Anyway, I'll shut up now, and I'm going to go and get something. We're going to put it in here, and it's going to look gorgeous. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back now. So I just literally went out into the garden. I hadn't deadheaded the roses, but look how beautiful they are. Look. So I've kind of killed two birds with one stone there, because I've done the deadheading. But you see how, how something so simple can be so beautiful. Not that I'm a florist, or anything like that, but I just love the simplicity of that. And I love how imperfect and free, and that is a real corker, isn't it? I wish there were more like that. It's almost like a little apple, doesn't it? A little rosy apple. Anyway, so this will be perfect in vase. You see, look. It's so pretty. It's just so, so pretty. And the other thing I like about this particular vase, or things like this, not this particular vase necessarily, although this is an example of something that will get better with age. So sooner or later, somebody is going to pick this up who's got oil on that, greasy hands or something like that. Something will get spilled, and it will just develop this, that lovely kind of, patina that, that you get with natural terracotta. It's very Charleston as well, isn't it? Couldn't you just see that? I could see this literally on a little table next to Vanessa's bed. Sweet. Or maybe on the breakfast table. So it's something, it's something as simple as this vase, which I can't remember how much it would have been, but it's not a crazy expensive thing at all. And there's just a beauty to it, and it is just what it is. So that's just an example. So I will show you that. No, in fact, what I'll do is I'll show you it later on. Deb's messaging me. I'll show you that later on when I'll light some candles, when it's dark, when it's really cosy, because I started lighting fires as well, because it's so cold. In the evenings, the temperature's it's not bitter, but the temperature has just dropped. Anyway, so I'm going to round up little Quincy. She's really on a mission with the socks at the moment, and in some ways I admire that. You know how she collects socks? Well, she's into it in a very big way. She obviously knows something. I hope it's not like a Noah's Ark type thing. I think maybe I was saying to Alice, maybe she's building a sock mountain that we can flee to, because the intensity of her work, but then she's quite chaotic. I think she's a little bit ADHD. So they are, there'll be some behind a cushion here. There'll be some upstairs. In the bedroom, the hall is always littered with socks, where she has her toys. She's very, very interesting animal. So she, with her socks, with her toys, for example. You know, those little fluffy, like the fluffy pheasant. They stay upstairs. They never come down here. Like, she will never bring her toys down here. Yet socks are mobilised, which is very unhelpful for me because, I mean, funny enough, I have got an actual pair today. But, yeah. Anyway, this book is absolutely beautiful. But I'm not going to show you loads because I just feel like I spent so much time on books the other day. But what I will say about this, I'm really annoyed with myself because I did underline it because I wanted to actually read the little passage. Someone in here, because obviously Ruth interviews and photographs so many people. So, for example, this is Ben Pentreath's bathroom, you know, and then it goes on to show the rest of his stunning house, which I think he doesn't live in anymore. I think he moved to Cornwall or something, didn't he? Anyway, that's his Dorset house. But my point was going to be that someone in this book said, it doesn't matter if you don't have very much money. And in a way, it's easier if you don't. So, I mean, obviously, which is complete, for some of these people, it's complete nonsense because they live in massive townhouses in, you know, Kensington or, you know, huge ancestral homes. So obviously that's quite different. But if you like the look, I would actually, if you like the look of, you know, layered English eclectics, you know, slightly sort of bohemian, very individual, I would argue it's actually easier if you don't have very much money because you have to do things slowly and you have to wait until you just happen across something. So, for example, with this sofa, if I had had the money, I would have a very different sofa and I would have literally got exactly what I wanted. But then would it have been as quirky as this great big thing with blankets thrown over it? No, it probably wouldn't. I probably would have got, you know, it would have been stunning, obviously, but it wouldn't have had the same character. And, you know, the same with my coffee table here. So my coffee table is my old kitchen table that I bought for my flat, you know, after the big family breakup. And it was really, really important to me to find a coffee table. I started off with, to find a kitchen table so that we could all sit together, you know, and have Christmases and, you know, for life to just go on and still have, you know, a beautiful shape to it. And so I brought the table with me. Because I knew that I'm not going to be buying just whole new stuff when I get here. And with this coffee table, it's probably a little oversized. You know, I cut the legs off it. It's probably a little oversized. But again, it's very charming. And from that has come other things because, you know, I probably would have chosen something maybe sort of 2/3 of the size, maybe different materials. So therefore I would have wanted to show off more of it and I wouldn't have had so much stuff on it, or it might have been more precious. So I would have been my approach to it would have been different. But because it is what it is, it's given me a freedom to do what I want. In fact, yeah, you know, and even this rug, which has been attacked by moths so many times, but I think I've got them this time. It's not ideal in here. The colour isn't ideal, yet it just works. It's a great big piece of rug and you put it down and then you don't have to worry about it. You know, the ones under the table there are unspeakable. They wouldn't be what I would have if I could have anything. And I say unspeakable because they're really old. They're not particularly nice, but just everything thrown in together, it's okay. You know, it's okay. You don't have to, not every choice you make has to be perfect. Things can just grow organically. But I think that you have to have an irreverence for what you're doing. Almost like, you know, you're in control here. This is your home. You do what pleases you. And, you know, it was interesting. Yeah, so when, you know, I went to Turkey recently and I was in, I think I showed you the room. It was just very beautiful cream, very minimalist. and very restful, kind of exactly what you want on holiday, really. You know, when you're just swimming and, you know, you just want minimalism, and also just the beauty of having the room tidied up and the bed made every day. So when you come back, it's just all lovely and empty and gorgeous. And I loved that. But do you know what? When I came back, because it had been a long time since I'd been away for any length of time from this house. When I came back to this house and I walked into this room, and I just thought, gosh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty, and there are so many interesting things. God, that sounds really big-headed. But it's not like I'm saying, oh, I'm so pretty. The room, you know, everything in it, the sum total of this room is just, it felt very comfortable and inviting. And I think it's because it's so damn imperfect, you know? And that's what you want. And I really love that vase. It's very beautiful. And things like that, and again, it's having things like that and having them, you could put something like that in any room, because it's a little bit different. It just has a bit of character. It's just quite interesting. You know, it has a personality. That's what it is. Look for things with personality, because if you're interested in the kind of the maximalist look for something with character. Like, in a way, in terms of objects or whatever, think of them as the person the person you see at a party who's just a little bit unusual and, you know, not quite like everyone else. Go for that person. Because often those people are very interesting. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're just super pretentious. But often they're really interesting. And yeah, or just look for that person or that thing with just a little twinkle in its eye. Anyway, I will stop chatting about things. We're going to go to Castle Carey now, and then I will be back just to show you the coffee table this evening. And Jordan is here. Well, he's coming later on today to do some more kitchen things. And in fact, I'll show you just the base unit. Well, all there is a base unit. I will show you the unit as it is now. So he's coming to basically do, I don't know what he's doing, to be honest with you, but he's doing some stuff. It's a really beautiful thing. It weighs a ton. I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed. Yeah. Anyway, that is that, and I will be back. Okay, so here we are in my studio room, aka what used to be the garage. Look, there's the sink. It's upside down, obviously, that's going in. And then this is the frame for, you know, my sink unit. So the dishwasher will be here, and then the sink is going in there. So I've got two little drawers at the bottom. Look, all of them completely handmade. And, oops, this wood here, which is this crazy, I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, it's awesome. The interesting thing about this bit of wood is this was not bought like this. This was bought as literally a hunk of wood, and it's been cut down to size. You know, I think it even had bark on it. And Jordan was saying that when he looked at it, obviously all he could see that was interesting was this. But then when you cut into it, isn't that fab? Yeah, so I'm very, very excited. Look, here's the other one. Like that. Yeah. So that's exciting. What else can I show you? Very autumnal garden. I don't even want to go out there. This looks grim. Yeah. Anyway. Right, let's get out of here. Oh, okay, no, that's not gone so well. Okay, that's